Welcome back to the Cricket Today podcast on Friday, February 23rd. We're back for a whole wide range of cricket across the world. You've got the Aussies playing in New Zealand. You've got England playing in India. Make sure you listen to our podcast wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe to our YouTube channel as always. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy, also known as Tim Davids, a number one fan. I always talked him up on this podcast. Not really. I'm here with Leo Mullaly. He's finally put himself together. How you going, Leo?
Good, thanks, Stats Guy. What a game last night. How
awesome
good.
game.
So good.
So good. Obviously here with Marcus Bazzano. He was loving the game last night,
Yes.
even though he pretended to watch it, but he was probably with his misso. How you going?
Yeah, I was actually. But, I was a little bit nervous actually because Homie was staring at me behind the camera.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I thought that you liked that type of stuff. Today we're going to cover a huge wrap of the New Zealand versus Australia first 2020, then a preview of the second 2020. I think that's going to be a really good match. Very high scoring. Leo's predicting. Then we're going to finish with a bit of Bazball versus India. Is Bazball really dead? We'll have a bit of a discussion about that. So let's get right into it. Leo, you want to give us the scores of the first Australia versus New Zealand T20?
Well, it wasn't one for the bowlers, was it?
No, I can see in the what you've got in the Ranchi there, no bowlers have getting a mention.
Yeah, no bowl, and nor should they. They were pretty poor last night.
Yeah.
New Zealand 3 for 215 batting first. Finn Allen at the top, 32 off 17.
Solid, yeah.
Conway and your man Ravindra. He was about 70 short of your prediction.
Yeah. Yep, but he was still really good. I should have just said 50 because the 50 is obviously a very good score.
And you pulled out the Stats Guy curse live.
I know.
during the game.
He was on 65. I said, he's absolutely flying here. And then he made 68.
In our group chat, he was like, he's on here, boys. He's on here. Next ball, he goes out.
Yeah, I need to stop curse. I've cursed West Ham. I've cursed Ranchi. Oh, he still made 68. So I haven't
Cursed Arsenal.
I'm happy to curse Arsenal. That's always good fun in the Premier League. But yeah, he did really well. 68 off 35, Leo. Yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome. And as you've written here, Stats Guy, first team to concede 4 straight scores of 200, the Aussies are. So
I know.
Not a good start.
We've played in some, the big grounds in Australia always, so that was a bit of a worry how we did 3 matches against the West Indies, who are a much lower ranked side, conceding 200. But then I think these smaller grounds in New Zealand, you're just expected to concede 190, 200 plus because they're so small. So I'm not too worried about it, especially Aussies got the job done. So if they're conceding that many, then they can make that many. So it's all good.
I thought we bowled really bad. We didn't throw in as many change-ups as we should have.
True.
And, you know, everyone was just getting tonked that night, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it wasn't good. How did the Aussies go and reply there?
Well, they did pretty good, Stats Guy.
Yeah, they definitely did.
4 for 216. Last ball, 4 from Tim David. 31 off 10.
Unbelievable.
Mitch Marsh, man of the match, I called it. 72 off 44.
Yeah.
Warner had a good start too. But the big question, boys, would you be able to stop that boundary in the last ball? If you're fielding it,
easy.
That was a weak effort.
It was a bit of a harbour bridge, I reckon. The ball...
It's more... What about the drop? It was Glenn Phillips, wasn't it?
Yeah,
he had that drop catch on the boundary as well that went over the rope.
He could have caught that instead of trying to throw it back in. That was weird,
And it was really weird. New Zealand definitely didn't field that well. Whereas Australia, that's probably where the edge really lies.
Maybe, yeah. We are probably being a bit harsh. I'd like to see us all change.
None of us would have fielded that.
I would have fielded it. I don't know about you two.
I wouldn't have fielded it.
No, it was... Tim David absolutely smoked it towards the boundary in that little sort of edge of the gap, and then, it would have been very tough to stop.
I'm blaming the bowler there. If there's 12 runs off the last 3 balls, you shouldn't be hitting for 12. You bowl,
I agree with that.
You
I
set your field to...
He didn't bowl that bad. The one he got hit for 6 was a bad ball, Southey.
Yeah.
But the last 2 balls, I didn't think that bad.
They weren't in like the hitting zone. It was a bit full. It was pretty nice and full, but
the
maybe
one he
too
got
full.
2 off was a great Yorker.
But Tim David isn't a 360-degree player as much as, say, Glenn Maxwell
No,
is.
he's not.
So I feel like if you bowl to where you can target it, you can definitely sniffle him out.
Yeah.
He was trying to cramp him up, I think, and really tuck him in.
Yeah.
So we couldn't only get 2 max, but David's lever's too good.
Yeah, and Tim David, since talking about the curse, that's another curse. I was bagging him, shouldn't be. I think we all did, saying he shouldn't be in the side.
Really.
He's made, I think it's like 3 or 4 innings just in this summer alone, where he's had over 250 strike rate. Just going, I think it was a couple of 300 strike rates, 30 off 10.
Which is obviously because we were like, he's been horrible throughout the Big Bash. Like his name was sort of in the air. Like, do we give other blokes a go?
Yeah.
But no, he's definitely earned his spot for the 2020 World Cup.
He's getting his average up. So his average up in the T20s was just because of Singapore, because he made a couple of 90s for Singapore. But now he's getting his average up for the Australian side of it as well. Awesome match. Tim David last ball. That was absolutely awesome. Check it out on the socials, actually, on Cricket Today. We chucked a video up on there of it. It's a great finish. Next match is the second T20 between Australia versus New Zealand. Let's give a bit of a prediction and man of the match. Are we doing for this one or just
why not? We can think of it on this
Why not? Yeah, why not? We'll do a bit of a man of the match. What do you got there, Leo? Leo? Probably a big score, you think?
Yeah, Aussies win and 480 plus runs, not 280 as I said before the show, but I think this will be incredibly
480
high. 480. So
You know what? I'm backing him here.
yeah, Eden Park is the smallest cricket ground in the world.
It is, yeah.
New Zealand played Pakistan there in January, made 226 in the first innings. The last time these two sides played, New Zealand made the highest T20 score ever, which is 243. And Australia broke that in the same game, chasing it down. And Darcy Short in that match was man of the match.
Yeah, which we haven't. Yeah, that's a bit of
That's a good throwback. I like that.
But yeah, I just think this will be incredibly high scoring. If I'm going to pick a man of the match player off the top of my head, I'm leaning towards one of the opening bats, whether that's Finn Allen, Devon Conway, Warner Head. One of those guys I think will really dominate.
Yep.
I'm just predicting runs here.
Runs, 480. Yep. Geez, I don't mind that. I think, that when Australia and New Zealand both not that long ago had 240 plus, so you could be spot on there with the 480.
I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be good fun to watch as well. Who are you going now, Marcus?
I'm actually going to go New Zealand here.
Oh, boo.
Because I did predict a 2-1. Didn't you predict New Zealand last night?
Yeah, but that's all right. Don't worry about it.
I did go a 2-1 Australia series win prediction, so I'm going to go New Zealand. This is the game that they're going to win.
It was really close.
I was really impressed with them. They should have won. Last night. But again, for a man of the match, I'm leaning towards probably Finn Allen in this one.
Yeah, he's a really solid player. I think
he looked really good.
A few people in the comments weren't happy we didn't have him in our combined 11 because he's a really solid player. Yeah.
You're not going to have him over Warner and Conway, are you?
No.
Did we go Warner in the end, did we? Or did we go Head?
I think people I think it's just because New Zealand hates Warner. He got booed off.
He's probably not even above Travis Head.
No, he's not.
The most hated people in New Zealand.
He's very young though.
Most hated people in New Zealand, Warner's up there. He got booed off the ground because of the comments he made during the week saying he hates playing in New Zealand and all that. Why would you say that you hate playing somewhere the day before you're playing
to make himself relevant?
To make yourself relevant.
He probably loves that sort of fire.
Probably.
He did give a kiss to the crowd. When
I didn't even see that, did he?
When he was walking off, he
gave a bit of a kiss. He's a strange man.
Seemed a bit angry though with the treatment he was getting.
He's always a little angry man. Anyway, I'm going to go the Aussies to win this one, but I think it's going to be in a super over, lads. Even closer than the last one. Saudi won't be bowling the last over, so they won't get hit for 12, I think.
How do you know that?
I just think don't repeat what happened in the last game and pick Saudi to bowl the last over.
Well, he's pretty experienced.
He is very experienced, but he's done.
He's done.
He's washed. He's washed. You've heard it here first. He's washed.
I don't actually believe that. But I don't think he's going to bowl the last over. I think they'll make it a bit closer. So I'm just going to go super over. Why not? I've said some outlandish things on this podcast, so why not say it's a super over? But either way, I think the Aussies are going to win. Slightly more batting depth. It's going to come down to the batting, as Leo mentioned. And I reckon the Aussies are just going to get over the line in this one.
Question.
Yes.
Just before we go to the next bit, if it is a super over, who bowls Australia's over? Is it Stark?
Because
that is a good question.
He's wayward.
Yeah, not Stark.
Zampa?
Not Zampa.
I'm picking Hazelwood if he plays.
Hazelwood, I'd say, just because, slightly more consistent. Stark could bowl a couple of wides in there and cost us, if it comes down to 2 runs, wide or 2 could cost you the game. Cummins hasn't been the best form in T20. I'll probably go Hazelwood, but that's a tough one.
I love the idea of just bowling a spinner and just being like...
Well, that's risky though.
Yeah, just being super arrogant.
Not Zampa.
Zampa
he's out of form.
He is, yeah.
That's why I would lean against him.
And then if I'm New Zealand, I'd bowl anyone but Saudi. Just because
you hate him.
I don't know. He just was crap last game. All right,
they were all crap. Every bowler was crap.
Every bowler was crap.
That's true. I think every bowler had it over where they were getting hit for like 18 plus.
Actually, I think Mitch Marsh was the most economical, wasn't he?
Okay, maybe get Marsh to bat and bowl in the super over. How cool would that be?
I think it might have been Ferguson actually.
We'll watch it on the weekend and we'll see if there's a super over. That'd be pretty cool. All right, that's the Australia versus New Zealand part of the show. We've covered a wide range there. Runs galore in that series, which is what we're predicting. So the Aussies will take that record of 4 straight scores of over 200 conceded. I reckon it might even go to 5 or 6 in this one. All right, India versus England, or Dravid ball versus Bazball, whatever you want to call it. The 4th test preview. Do you want to go through some of the points there, Leo?
Yeah, so just written down here, Bumrah being rested.
Yep. That's a big out, yeah.
So the sort of, I guess, conspiracy, it's not really conspiracy, but the theory behind it is the Ranchi pitch might be a bit of a turner.
Yep.
So they might play an extra spinner, India. So they might play 4 spinners and go with the 1 pace bowler. But the question in terms of the England squad, boys, what changes would you make? Should Bairstow be dropped? Anderson, Wood?
Get him out of there. Get Bairstow out.
Yeah, not just because I don't
Bairstow.
like him as a bloke, Bairstow, but
Just because I genuinely don't like him. Just push him off.
Okay, what's it called? Marcus is going just because he's a bad bloke, but just his form has been horrible. He's made a couple of ducks in this series already. He had 0 and a 4 in the last match. Even his keeping hasn't been to the best of his standards. He's obviously over the last couple of years, he's actually been all right, but the last few months he's just been really out of form. So I think you got to drop him.
As an out-and-out keeper, he's never been the best.
No, he's very
keeper.
lazy and doesn't really.
And his decisions are like diving in front of the slips and going for catches isn't great.
Yep.
But yeah, I think he should be dropped. But you're saying this pitch is going to be a turning pitch.
It looks like it. There's a bit of an unknown with it.
Yeah.
But they're thinking because Boomer's rested, they're going to dish up a Turner.
And well, it's probably the case then if it's in India. Definitely not any dodgy stuff going on over there.
No, never.
But in that case, India have the better spinners. So I think it's India for me.
Yeah. And then you mentioned about Anderson and Wood. If you're going to have to pick some spinners, I hate to do it to old Jimmy, but he looked pretty bad in that last one, didn't he? He was getting smacked around a bit, even when he sort of helped India get to that over 100 strike rate for some of their batters. So I'd say you could probably keep Wood just because, but
I think they should drop Wood as well.
And Anderson.
Really?
Based off the wicket.
Who's the main pace?
Well, they've got Flog Robinson.
Yeah.
And they've got
Oh, God.
Gus Atkinson.
Yeah.
I'd actually bring in Gus Atkinson.
Robinson might have more
Because you're not going to win this game with your pace bowlers. You're going to win it with your spinners.
I'd probably stick with Wood, to be honest, because he's that quick. It's so much different
pitch, it looks-
to the pace of spin.
It just looks like it's going to really just die out.
Maybe
And
just
it's not
get
gonna
Mark
pace-
Wood bowling leggies or something. Who knows?
Well,
Just get
Ollie Robinson can bowl offies.
Oh, yeah?
When he breaks down after bowling.
Anyone can bowl offies.
When he breaks down bowling 120 kilometers,
can he bowl them
Robinson
well?
bowls some offies. But
True. Nah, I'm gonna lean towards Wood, but yeah, I think unfortunately for Jimmy, I feel like his career is almost
Oh,
done.
you're finishing
Yeah.
him up as well.
Yep.
Well, I mean,
I'm finishing.
He is like 42, isn't he?
No, Southie's still got a decent career out of him, but Anderson, I think he's 41 now?
Yeah.
And even last year he was really good, but just the last couple of months he's just dropped off a bit, and I think their body's letting him down a bit. All right, prediction, man of the match, lads. We've already sort of hinted towards some of our predictions. Who you got? I'll go with you, Marcus.
Yeah, I already mentioned before, so I think spin to win and India have the better spinners to boot.
Yep, no, fair call. Leo?
Yeah, I agree with that. India should win, and just also based off form, like England got thrashed in the last test.
Yep.
And I really like Kuldeep Yadav, bit of a different one. Obviously, they got
Great spinner.
Jadeja, Ashwin as two deadly spinners, but Yadav spins it both ways. Good flight with his deliveries. Got Bairstow Plum LBW in the last test.
That was a cracker of a ball.
It was, yeah.
It wasn't really too relevant. I just wanted to mention Bairstow.
Yeah.
But I like Kuldeep Yadav. I wouldn't be surprised if he took 2 fifers or 1 fifer and a 4 or something.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good call. I feel like you could pick any spinners in this one. India as well, I'm going to go. I think it'll be a lot closer than the last test just because of that sort of roller coaster way that England play. It might
true.
Get really close or they might get smashed. That's just how they're going to play. So I think it's going to be really close, but India win. I'm going to go Jadeja. I picked him for the man of the match last one. I think he's the best all-rounder in the world at the moment, and this is perfect for a man of the match in this one. He's going to love the spinning pitches. So last match he got 7 wickets on a decent spinning pitch.
Yeah.
But if this one's spinning a bit more, he can get even more than 7 wickets.
Yep.
And then he's obviously going to threaten with the
Handy
bat
with the
because he's so in form, even though he's burning teammates, running them out and still giving the sword celebration, which is very
That's
funny.
such an alpha move.
Yeah,
That
it is.
so alpha.
Run your mate out on debut and then just do your sword celebration. I feel like he maybe has that trademark to something. Maybe you better do the sword celebration because we need to promote it.
I rate century celebrations.
Yeah, so
Like Warner's has his
His Toyota one.
Jadeja has
mixes
his.
it up.
Yeah.
Doesn't Marcus Stoinis has his? He puts his
He used to,
helmet on the bat and then
he hasn't made one.
he doesn't make hundreds anymore. But.
So I don't mind a bit of Jadeja. Get ready for another sword celebration for that one. So we're all going India.
Yep.
Yeah, no Bazball. Bazball's dead.
Is
Is that what we're saying?
Dead for now.
Dead for now.
6 feet under.
It's 6 feet under. Jeez, all right. Well, you heard it here first. All right, that's it. Definitely not here first because lots of people are bagging Bazball. That's it for the Cricket Today show. We'll be back with this on Monday. We're going to have a huge wrap of the Oz T20s and then a wrap up of the India versus England. Actually, must still be going. Depends if it goes to 5
It'll
days.
be over by then.
You reckon it'll be over?
No.
Oh, well, actually, if it's a spinning wicket, it might be over, so we'll have to wait and see. Get right around the show, send in any questions, and I think that's it. Thank you very much, Jared, behind the camera, doing a mountain of work at the moment. And thank you very much, Leo.
Cheers, Stats Guy.
Thanks for getting through the show without laughing too hard. Thank you very much, Marcus.
Thanks for listening.
No worries. Thank you very much to Jared, and thanks to me. That's another episode of Cricket Today done. We're out.